Atlus has been dropping banger after banger with Persona over the years, and even with the recent launch of Persona 3 Reload, we've still got more to come to that game real soon with its DLC, along with a big content update pertaining to that title's future. And with a big Persona announcement likely to drop soon for its 6th mainline title, along with heavily rumored Persona remakes and remasters in development, we've got a lot of Persona to look forward to on the horizon. Also, don't you dare lose your sights on the upcoming Metaphor ReFantazio, a game that takes many elements of the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei series and creates something wholly unique in a game that could likely be Atlus's biggest, most ambitious title yet, launching in just over a month. This is everything we know about Atlus's next big game releases, starting with what's just around the corner to when we are likely to get more concrete info on some titles to surface in 2025 and beyond. There is a lot to go over here, but before we dive in proper, be sure to participate in my Metaphor ReFantazio Digital Anniversary Edition giveaway for your chance to earn the most complete digital edition of the game for the platform of your choice. Drop a like and let me know which Atlus project you are looking forward to most. And let's get into what we have coming right around the corner with Persona 3 Reload's final DLC, Episode Aegis. Releasing in just a week on September 10th, Persona 3 Reload's Episode Aegis DLC is confirmed to be the last DLC releasing for the game and will be part of Persona 3 Reload's expansion pass. Episode Aegis is a complete remake of Persona 3 FES's The Answer mode, which served as Persona 3's epilogue, and now that this DLC chapter will be added to the game on September 10th, Persona 3 Reload will essentially reach parity with the content from Persona 3 FES. While I, along with numerous other Persona fans, had but a few complaints about The Answer back in FES, Atlus is committed to making the mode a much better experience by providing a less grindy means of progressing through it, containing all the quality of life updates that the base Persona 3 Reload contains, while adding tons of new features like finally having the Persona Compendium, which was previously not accessible in the original version. In addition, Metis returns as a party member and will have her own theurgy attacks. Episode Aegis will be expanding character moments with Metis in a big new way by giving her Link episodes in this DLC, granting her battle characteristics like every other party member. This is incredible, seeing how awesome the Link episodes are in the base Persona 3 Reload game, as they fleshed out each character in memorable ways while benefiting the player with stat boosts. Overall, Episode Aegis looks to be a vastly improved experience over The Answer from FES, so let me know in the comments if you're interested in trying this revamped mode out next week. Just remember, in order to get this DLC, you must buy the expansion pass itself to not only gain access to Aegis's DLC chapter, but the 2 other content packs that were released earlier this year. It currently goes for $34.99 US. Just know that those who have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will have complimentary access to the DLC with their subscription. Since we're talking about absolutely everything we know coming to the Persona series, I would be remiss to not mention the recent official word from Atlus on the likelihood of Kotone Shiomi, Persona 3 Portable's female protagonist, being present in Persona 3 Reload in the future. Unfortunately, Persona series producer Kazuhisa Wada rules out the possibility of Kotone ever showing up in Persona 3 Reload, with the following statement he provided to Game Informer. "The more we discussed it, the more unlikely it became," Wada said. "The development time and costs would not have been manageable. Persona 3 Reload has just released, and there is currently a lot of player interest, so if we are to do an additional release, it has to be now. But since it's not possible for us to release Persona 3 Reload with the female protagonist in this window, we just can't do it." Wada concluded with, "I'm really sorry to all the fans who were holding out hope, but it's likely never going to happen." This represents Wada's second time he publicly apologized for Kotone's exclusion from Persona 3 Reload, so while this news isn't exactly surprising to hear, it is ultimately sad hearing that there may never likely be a truly complete Persona 3 Reload experience containing all the modes from previous Persona 3 releases. Nevertheless, if you've got a PC, the Kotone mod is absolutely incredible, with so many milestones having been achieved since February. I will provide you all with a link in the description to the mod if you're interested in learning more about it. We've seen plenty of Persona releases in the past, so maybe she will be released in a Persona 3 Reload Ultimate Edition in a few years from now? Regardless, let me know your thoughts regarding Kotone's absence, along with the present state of Persona 3 Reload now that episode Aigis is right around the corner. Alright, let's get into some more uplifting news, shall we? In just a month after episode Aigis releases for Persona 3 Reload, we have likely Atlus's biggest game yet release on October 11th in Metaphor ReFantazio, an upcoming fantasy JRPG helmed by much of the staff and designers who worked on Personas 3, 4, and 5 under Atlus's new studio, Studio Zero. I've talked about this game at length, discussing its similarities to the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei series, and actually got my hands on the game for about 3 hours during a play event a few weeks ago. And I've just gotta say that this game deserves to be on more people's radar for its bold venture into creating an entirely new and unique third pillar to Atlus. Standing shoulder to shoulder next to SMT and Persona, Metaphor takes many similar elements from those games, like battle elements from SMT and social sim elements like social links, social stats, and the calendar system from the Persona series, and breaks into new territory by telling a story that takes place over an expansive world in a fantasy setting. Its narrative is gripping, its combat as engaging as Atlus's other works, and its myriad systems all connect to make a game that is decidedly similar to its sibling franchises, while paving an exciting path forward into unknown territory by wrapping it all up in a game world that is many times more expansive than any other game Atlus has made before. Metaphor should be celebrated, as Atlus has finally decided to try something new here that bravely moves forward into uncharted territory while paying immense respect to its past. So please, fans of Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, give this game a close look in the weeks leading up to its release. And again, participate in my giveaway of the game if you'd like a chance to play it for free. I came away from my 3 hours with it immensely impressed, and it has skyrocketed this game into being my most anticipated game for the rest of this year. Metaphor ReFantazio, along with Persona 3 Reload and its DLC, are incredible titles to hold us over until Persona 6, which I believe to be the next Atlus game we will see get announced, and that announcement is likely to hit us sooner rather than later. Now that we've covered the latest happening with Persona 3 Reload and the upcoming Metaphor ReFantazio, let's dive into speculation regarding future Atlus projects, starting first with easily the most anticipated game of the bunch, Persona 6, a game we may not have to wait long at all to finally get a glimpse at. I have documented the history and development of Persona 6 at length in the numerous videos I have done on it over the months, of which you can view linked in the description. And while much of the information we went over regarding the title was from insider information with track records that were really quite solid, Atlus has been hard at work on this title for several years, and many are thinking that a formal announcement of the title is right around the corner. Atlus has made several appearances at huge events like Summer Game Fest and the Game Awards, and with the Game Awards fast approaching in December this year, it is likely that, following the release of their most recent game in Metaphor ReFantazio, that Persona 6 is likely to get an official announcement at this event, if not sometime in 2025. A number of reports claimed that Persona 6 was initially slated to get released in 2025, with some stating that the title may have been pushed back to 2026. So an upcoming announcement to this highly anticipated Persona game is certainly likely to drop soon should Atlus adhere to a 2025 or 2026 release. Like I stated earlier, I have covered Persona 6 in detail, going over claims regarding its primary color scheme to its ambitious two-protagonist storyline, sprawling world, fluid social link mechanics, and more. So watch this video in particular to get a thorough understanding of everything we know about the game so far if you're interested in seeing all the developments going on with that title. While we know that Persona 6 is very much in active development and is likely to be released within the next 2 years, another Persona 5 spin-off title has been doing quite well in East Asia with the launch of Persona 5 The Phantom X. This PC and mobile game has garnered quite an audience in East Asia, and while there have been no official reports from Atlus stating that the game would come to the West or other regions, numerous insider reports have suggested so, and since the game is already live in Asia, it is likely that should the game receive a launch in other regions, that we could likely see these launches happen in 2025 or 2026. 6. Let me know if you're interested in Persona 5 The Phantom X, as I have heard quite a bit of good things about it from those who've played it. It is likely that Persona 3 Reload was perhaps the first of many Persona remakes that are in development, as earlier this year, now infamous and defunct insider Midori stated that Persona 4 would be getting its own remake years from now, and that Personas 1 and 2 were getting either a remake or a remastered treatment. Again, with Midori, while this leaker has deactivated their accounts on social media due to the community unearthing the true identity of this individual, their track record still stands, as this user correctly leaked numerous games like Persona 3 Reload, its DLC, Persona 5 Tactica, and Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, all before they were officially announced by Atlus. Regardless, we are in an era where remakes and remasters are more common than perhaps entirely new franchises, so getting a remake of especially Persona 4 is very likely. Considering Persona 3 and Persona 4 were PS2 titles, employing Persona 3 Reload's engine for a Persona 4 remake sounds likely here, along with implementing a number of quality of life enhancements to update an already perfectly sound Persona 4 Golden into an amplified remake. Go ahead and watch this video here on what I think a Persona 4 remake would look like, but let me know in the comments what you think should happen to a Persona 1 and 2 re-release. Should they get remakes or remasters? Because those games are quite unique and much more like the earlier SMT games, I can see a remaster do wonders to these titles, or a remake without completely overhauling these games, as Persona 1 and the Persona 2 duology don't contain many of the elements that represent the past 3 mainline Persona games in Personas 3 through 5. Definitely an interesting development to keep an eye on. Atlus is becoming more and more popular, thanks in large part due to huge successes like Persona 3 Reload, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, and the release of Persona 5 Royal and Persona 4 Golden on just about every platform out there. With Metaphor ReFantazio creating an entirely new pillar that stands proudly alongside the SMT and Persona franchises, Atlus will undoubtedly continue to grow well into the future. Persona 6 may be the most anticipated title of the bunch, but due to the wild success of Persona 3 Reload, more remakes and remasters of older titles are likely to result of this increase in popularity. Now, out of all these games, confirmed and unconfirmed, which one are you most excited about and why? If you were to ask me, I know that Persona 6 is going to be well worth the wait, so I'm gonna say I'm most looking forward to Metaphor ReFantazio. If you'd like to learn more about my 3-hour play session with Metaphor, go ahead and join me over in this video on your screen. And that's all I have for you. We're eating well, Atlus fans, so keep on playing, and I'll be seeing you real soon in the next one.